We're good to go.
Okay. Good morning. It's 8:36 and I call this meeting to order. Should be a pretty quick meeting this morning, but we'll start with an approval of the minutes. If I have a motion.
I'll make a motion, Christy Ziegler, to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
Aaron Edwards, second.
All right, all in favor, raise your hand. Okay, motion carries unanimously. And then I think I'll turn it over to Scott. Is that right? I can't get my page up.
Sure. Thank you, Jen, or Dr. Holt, pardon me. So we only have the two cases this morning. They will both be by default. The first case that I'll bring to you, I think, on the agenda is Kim Zier, 22 PPC 21. This is a case the materials were not shared with you all because this is a default case. A complaint was signed on February 21st of this year by the Director of Teacher Licensure. The allegation is that the licensee was charged in Johnson County District Court on April 13th of 2020 with one count of aggravated indecent liberties as defined in state law. The victim of that crime was a student. 2 years later, in August 5th of 2022, the criminal charge was amended pursuant to a plea agreement to misdemeanor battery. As a condition of the sentence to probation, the licensee was ordered to undergo a sex offender evaluation and successfully comply with any recommendations. The licensee was also required to surrender his teaching certificate for life. That was a condition of the plea agreement. I did receive a copy of that voluntary surrender some time ago, but in order for us to take any kind of action, there has to be a PPC number attached to it. So we had to file a complaint, which we've finally gotten around to. I can share with you that I filed the complaint with the attorney that represented the licensee. He accepted service on behalf of this client and said that the licensee will not be contesting it. Obviously, he's just asking you to accept his voluntary surrender. That was originally attached to the complaint, and it's understood. I asked the attorney, are you okay with me proceeding this Friday with a default finding, even though it's still within the 15 days by which he could ask for a hearing? And his attorney told me, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and please do that. So that's a little bit different than how we usually do it, where we mail to the last known address. This was something that was already taken care of. And so the request is that you recommend revocation of the teaching license of Kim Zier based on his criminal misconduct. Well, basically, I'll just say his professional misconduct based on the voluntary surrender of his license and for not participating in these proceedings.
Do I have a motion? Oh, remember to unmute if you're trying to make said motion.
And if you would like me to repeat the suggested motion again very slowly, I'm happy to do that. The request, I'm sorry.
Please go ahead and repeat because I didn't catch the name.
Sure. The request is to recommend to the State Board of Education that the license of Kim Zier be revoked. And I'll just say, as a result of the allegations of the complaint filed by KSDE and for not participating in today's proceedings.
Aaron Edwards, I move that we revoke the license of Kim Zier based on the allegations of the complaint brought on by KSDE and for non-participation.
Ricardo Sanchez, second.
Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Or is there discussion? Favor, raise your hand. And motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay, PPC 23.
Okay. The next case is Amber Heffenstein. This is 22 PPC 23. A complaint was signed October 6th of 2022 by the Kansas State Department of Education. It was mailed to the last known address of an applicant. Ms. Heffenstein had applied for an emergency substitute teaching license. The allegation in the complaint is that between October 2018 and September of 2019, the applicant was involved in the trafficking and or use of unlawful contraband by individuals in custody within state correctional facilities. That was the allegation of the complaint. I think it's fair. There was a criminal charge filed. That case was dismissed. After the case was dismissed, we proceeded. We had the evidence. We were ready to proceed. We filed the complaint. She did file a request for a hearing. We had started the process of discovery. Deadlines were set. We were going to proceed to a hearing. And then on January 19th, the applicant emailed myself and the Office of Administrative Hearings. To whom it may concern, I am withdrawing my appeal in reference to case 23 ED009, which is the OAH's case number, but it's the same case. Please let me know if there's anything further I need to do, signed by that person. That email was from the known email that we had for the applicant that was accepted as a withdrawal from OAH by Judge Snell. And so I'm asking for, pardon me, I'm on the border of sneezing and I don't want to blow your ears out. So the request from the department is to recommend denial of the application for Amber Heffenstein based on the allegations in the complaint and for not participating in today's hearing. Or in these proceedings, I should say.
Aaron Edwards, I move that we deny Amber Heffenstein her emergency sublicense due to allegations of the complaint and non-participation.
Eric Filippi, I second.
Okay, is there discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. All right, motion carries unanimously.
All right, those are the only two things I had on the agenda for you. I can share with you just for fun. I told you we had a whole lot of complaints filed, or that we were going to be filing. We did those in 2 batches. The first batch, there were 13 complaints filed. 4 people have requested hearings out of the 13, and I believe today is the deadline for them to ask for a hearing. 4 others bounced back because the addresses were bad. We've been able to remail 2 of them. We've been able to find 2 new addresses, but candidly, we only have to mail it to the last known address. We're trying service. So, 9 defaults, not that odd. That's about what I thought it was going to be based on the nature of these complaints. There is a second batch of complaints that we filed. I forget what the highest case number is now. I think we're up to 25 or 26, which, as you all know, that's pretty much a full docket for our year. And that's if half the people ask for a hearing. I don't think we've gotten any requests for hearings from the second batch yet, but those just went out a week ago. So just letting you know, that's what we're getting off of our desk. And I had made a request for 3 of you to stick around after this very shortly, if you wouldn't mind. I don't care which 3. Judge, normally you wouldn't be a part of this conversation. For just an unofficial discussion that would not be part of the actual meeting. So, Dr. Holt, if you wanted to close the meeting and then 3 people could tell me who wants to stick around.
Sure.
The meeting.
I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Christy Ziegler.
Seconded, Leanne Rogers.
All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, motion carries. We are
And
adjourned at 8:45.
Real quick, sorry,
Yeah.
before you actually adjourn, just so I don't get myself in trouble with open meetings, because there are enough of you on together that you're going to be communicating, we'll leave the meeting open. And Eric, don't turn the Zoom off yet. For just 3 people to volunteer, if you would please, then we will go ahead and adjourn. So I saw Christy, Ricardo, and Leanne. Jen, you said you need to take off.
Yeah, I moved, so it's not as pressing, but I'm happy to jump off and get to my next place. So
Okay.
we're good. All right.
Now I
Motion.
believe that the meeting can be adjourned.
The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, guys. Sorry about that. I was in an observation and then my thing went off. So, all right. Hey, guys, have a fantastic weekend. All right.
Thanks, Eric. You too.
You too, Eric. Bye.
Okay, Eric, we are not live streaming on YouTube anymore, right?
That is correct.
All right, thanks. And technically, unless you need to stay on for, I guess I'm the host. Oh, Carrie just entered the waiting room. I guess I'll let her in.